Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again to my channel, people. My channel, my name, by the way, is IJ Blunt, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. If you just stumbled across, please, before we go ahead, do not forget to subscribe. So when I upload new videos, you'll be amongst the first to get to know. And hopefully we get to know each other better. It doesn't cost a penny. So please do subscribe, support my channel, and share this video with your friends and family. Hit the like button, and now let's go. Today I'm going to keep the video short, sweet, and simple. What am I talking about today? Well, it's a common occurrence in most people's lives. I happen to have come across quite a few videos, clips here and there. And of course, I've had my fair share of challenges. I'm talking about forgiveness. What is forgiveness? Whether you are a person of faith or not, it boils down to the fact that all of us, almost everybody, if not all, who's watching this video, would have at one stage or the other felt like you've been hurt so much, you've been betrayed, you've been disappointed, and you keep thinking, oh, forgiveness. It comes into everybody's lives. So how do we define forgiveness? Well, I would like to say, first of all, I am not necessarily here to define the word forgiveness. But what I'm here to do is to perhaps share with you guys how I see forgiveness. Forgiveness to me is something, the hurt that of disappointment that you have to learn to let go. And why do I mean, pardon me, my eyes itching. What do I mean letting go? Letting go does not mean you're being stupid. Letting go does not mean you're being weak. Letting go does not mean that you're saying necessarily that what has been done to you, whatever that might be, is right or wrong. Of course, we know there are always two sides to a story. As the going often says, two wrongs can never make a right. And I know also, personally speaking, forgiving being said, I can hear someone watching this now saying, it's just said and done for you. I hear you, I feel you, my brother, my sister. I've been there. I know how hurtful it can be when you've been betrayed, hurt, and or backstabbed basically by someone or people you really thought you loved, people that should be looking out for you. And one thing, I'll come to that as we go along. So let's talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness, to me, is letting go, however difficult that might be. Letting go of the hurt, the grudge, the bitterness that someone else's actions have caused towards you. Okay? And why do I say letting go? I know it's hard, especially if you're watching this now and you're just freshly going through some emotional pain or hurt or whatever the situation might be. When I say let go, letting go does not simply mean that you are totally throwing away or saying some situation is right or wrong, but letting go is for your own benefit. Letting go is allowing yourself to enjoy and embrace the full happiness potential that is coming your way in your own life. Because one thing I want you to understand, you watching this, and it took me a while to understand myself, is that it's not, first of all, we're all human beings. We are not without our own flaws. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, that person that hurt you is not perfect, whatever that might be. But what is essential to understand is that it will be almost impossible to go through life, or indeed if you are even successful in the slightest, without having a situation you may not even know, it may not even be your intention. But someone somewhere might feel, oh, I want to burst her bubble, I want to burst his bubble, and I'll do this, I'll do that. Sometimes people who are jealous, people who are vindictive, people who are nasty, they can't help themselves. So what I want you to understand about forgiveness and letting go, it is not everybody who hurts you. Like I said, we're all human beings. None of us is without our flaws. But it's not everybody who hurts you that really cares about you. Does that make sense? It's not everybody who has hurt you in your life or later or previously that really cares about you. Some of them hurt you unintentionally. Some of them hurt you intentionally, constantly undermining you, constantly plotting. And the reason you need to let go is not for them. It's for you. And if you're a person of faith, whatever your faith is, in my case, I'm a proud Christian. And I say this to people, especially those of you out there who claim to be born-again Christians, who claim to be children of God, but yet your hearts are so dark. Be you Jewish, be you a Muslim, be you whatever religion there is out there. Forgiveness is something almost any religion, as far as I know in my own world, especially when you call yourself a Christian, demands of us. By not letting go, you are allowing that person, especially if that person is someone in your life who has gone out of their way time and time again to hurt you, to undermine you, to upset you deliberately. You are allowing yourself to be a prisoner to them, an emotional prisoner. And let me be honest with you, emotions, be it happy, sad, joyful, whatever, especially when it's joyful, your peace. Peace is something money can buy. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the richest man or woman in the world. What is that money if you have not got your peace of mind? For a man or woman with peace of mind can live even more freely like a king, happy for the little they have, than a man or woman who has everything, but in their heart is so dark, heavy, bitter, and what have you. So when I talk about letting go, it is very important that you let go of the hurt. By letting go means even being able to forgive somebody who has hurt you, especially those people. I've had many of them in my lives. I still do. Where people have hurt you so much, you even question yourself, what did I do to deserve this? And no kind of scenario you come up in your head justifies their nastiness towards you. And so that is where I'm leading to. This is when forgiveness can be difficult. But like I said, if you are someone of faith, whatever your faith is, in my case, like I said earlier, I'm a Christian and a proud one. And to forgive is possible to do so without waiting for that person to even ask you for forgiveness. Because some people, you could wait till they're never going to say, I'm sorry. In fact, they're never going to ever acknowledge they've done anything wrong to you. Because some people, out of pride, out of narcissism, out of ego, whatever you want to call it, some of them would rather die with the lies that they've painted about you than ever be honest to themselves to tell you, I am sorry. Even what's more, that's my own experience again, some people will even pick you out and make you an enemy, even when you don't still know what exactly have I done to you. They never talk to you, but they talk to everybody else behind you who probably are also too scared to tell you exactly what the person said or didn't say or whatever. And so that's again when you know this person does not mean well for you. Because I always say, I say to my children, I say to my friends, I say it to my hobby, I say it to people. Anyone who, like I said, we're all human beings. But anyone who means well to you or for you as a friend, as a relative, as whatever that relationship is, if they mean well and they feel you've hurt them, because sometimes we do things to people ourselves without even knowing, it may not even be something you yourself are seeing like you meant it to annoy that person. But rather than that person coming to tell you, they start building up, festering, and go behind you, plotting and blaspheming you, defaming you, whatever that might be. That's when you know a narcissistic, toxic person you do not want in your life. But what you can do for yourself is to try and release any bitterness. It's hard, yes, I know, but with prayers and supplication, you will get there, my dear friend, my brother or my sister. You will get there. Is to learn to say, I forgive you. Even if from a distance, I forgive this person. In my case, I like to talk to God, and let God know I have no bitterness. And if you're a Christian watching this, I don't know about other faiths, but in Christianity, there's a popular prayer. We call it the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven. Hallowed be your name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It goes on to say, hallowed be your name, but there's a powerful phrase I often tell people to remember. And unfortunately, many people fall short, especially those of you out there who disgrace the word Christianity. You claim you're Christians, you claim you're devoted, you claim you're born again, and tomorrow, every day in your life, you're praying or claim to be praying, but your heart is so dark. You're still holding on to some bitterness, onto your brother, onto your sister, onto your friend, onto your colleague, onto your ex-husband, onto your ex-wife, and yet you have audacity. You're not even seeing it's an audacity. An audacity against God's will. An insult, actually, to my mind, against God's will. And what am I talking about? When you pray the Lord's Prayer, you say, forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. But lead us not into temptation. Now, those two lines, forgive me my trespasses or forgive us our trespasses, are so powerful. Many people say this prayer, but they don't even look or think of the meaning. And that's why I say it's actually insulting God. When you know in your heart, you're that kind of person who bears grudges. When you know in your heart is not clean towards your fellow family member, your friend, your colleague, whatever, but you still pray that prayer and expect that God, that you are truly praying to God, I beg to differ. So, for those two lines, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, is the main reason often in my own personal world when I get so angry. Wondering, what did I do to this person? Why? Forget about the why. You never know. Sometimes people can't even give you an answer why they're angry, so bitter towards you. So how can they tell you? So therefore, rather than holding on to bitterness or answers that don't make meaning, learn to let go. Forgive them. Kneel down, pray it to God constantly. Pray to you, and release that person and say, I let you go. I forgive you. Let God. God himself said, vengeance is mine. If you know your heart is clean, and if you're like me, again, I'll come to that in another video. Still linked to forgiveness. The tools that help us to live peacefully, joyfully, and fulfilled. So, when you are able to forgive, you are able to release yourself. You're releasing, you're not giving someone else a power over you, because by you being bitter, and it doesn't mean Forgiveness, some people completely misconstrue it sometimes. It does not always mean, one, that someone has to say sorry. Of course, if they say I'm sorry, that is a wonderful thing. If I put it this way, if many of us were humble enough, sensitive enough to understand that we are flawed equally, especially those people who would never accept that they themselves probably first started hurting you for years, you're enduring. You do one little thing, not even doing, you're reacting to their own actions. And what do? They forget everything else they've done. They pick onto them just that first time, like they are the only ones in life who have the right to keep hurting you. And you have no right whatsoever to react. That is toxic. You don't want people like that in your life. But what I want to tell you today, if you're going through hurt, pain of any sort, we've all been there, but I like to think some people are luckier than others. I've had my fair share in life. Even when you think, you're quite ready to sit down, ask this person, tell me what I've done. They are so bitter, I don't want to talk to them. And when people behave that way, it's funny because often they are even the instigators themselves. That they like to think if they say they are not talking to you, maybe that's a way in their own little mind of mentally breaking you that meanwhile you are living your life joyfully, peacefully, and successfully. Because often people who are bitter, they think, especially if it's someone you've actually loved so much, sometimes we underestimate other people's strength and the love they have for us. We abuse it, put it that way. So I encourage you, and I say forgiveness is letting go of the hurt or pain someone else or some people have caused you. By letting go, you are empowering yourself. You're empowering yourself because you're not allowing someone else to have that emotional grip over you. And when you're happy and peaceful, trust me, your life is simpler. Because at the end of the day, we all love to have relationships with our family, friends, college, whatever. But when you know in your deepest of hearts that your heart is clean, your intentions are you mean well. And someone constantly wants to hurt you. Please, after 1, 2 goes, don't let that person back into your life. Have a relationship from a distance if possible. Because at the end of the day, someone is going to come constantly into your space to hurt you. It's not healthy. It's not healthy, it's toxic, and it's not right. But yes, you can still learn, as painful as it sounds, learn to forgive. Forgiving is empowering, is letting go of the hurt, handing it over to God. If you're personal faith, handing it over and saying, I let you go, but let me guard my heart. And I forgive you. Even speak it out out there and say, so and so, I forgive you. Even if you never want to accept that you have hurt me. For your own sake. For you to have a good relationship with God and with your inner self. And I say to anyone watching this, please, if you've been hurt, just remember this. There's so many people out there, myself included, we're all human, and at the end of the day, please do not wallow in that hurt. Pull yourself up. Just say to yourself, whatever, I'm from today henceforth, I forgive this person. I am going to make sure I am happy and in a positive mindset. Speak it daily. And eventually it will hopefully take over and help you see things and situations in a more positive way. And sometimes, let's be honest, some people are in our lives for a season for a reason. And there is a reason, probably God or someone is watching over you, and that's why you don't have that toxic person in your life. So, on this note, I hope whoever you are, And if you've been hurt or you've recovered from hurt, keep living. Live better by learning to forgive. Forgiveness is strength. Some people don't understand. They think if you're trying to make peace with them, oh, that means, yeah, oh, she's weak. And no. That's a disillusion. You are able to forgive because you have the strength in you. You are able to forgive because you know you are more blessed and you are a happier person. In fact, I actually believe when people are very happy and content in their lives, they don't hold on to bitterness the way some people tend to. And if you are that person, you have in your behavior, your character, you're a grudge bearer, you bear grudges a lot. My dear friend, sister, brother, please, you can relearn. Please let go. Learn not to hold on to grudges, because you yourself, I promise you, if you bother to sit down with those people or that person, you have probably done more to them than they ever told you and endured. And no matter what it is, you have no right to pray to God to forgive you when you are carrying grudge against another human. How do you want God to forgive you when you are behaving like you're a God? Because someone said or did something, most likely reacting to your own action towards them, therefore they're condemned forever. Because maybe in your mind, if you don't talk to them, the whole world will fall apart. No, their world will not fall apart. In fact, I worry about such people, because at the end of the day, when everybody in this life has to go, whether you're a Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, whatever. Again, in my case, I am a proud and joyful, positive Christian. I want the day I stand before God, I can look God in the eyes and God will not say to me, but that person tried to make peace and what did you do? It's you that have to worry. You who bears grudges. You who cannot let go. You who holds so much over your a fellow human being, more than you yourself, who think you're so perfect. You're not God. Nobody's perfect. But unfortunately, things like jealousy, bitterness can really, really eat people up. They don't even when the thing is so silly, is so magnified by their attitude. So on this note, please, my fellow people, wherever you are in the world, black, white, Asian, whatever, learn to forgive. When someone has done something, learn to be more open if you can. I encourage people, express it to that person, let alone they don't want to listen. And if they don't want to listen, that means they didn't even like you. They didn't even want to have a relationship with you. But still, learn to forgive them, let them go, and let go. Do not allow any bitterness to occupy any part of your life, because you want the joyful things of life to keep flowing in you. So on that note, please let's learn to forgive one another. And forgiveness doesn't always mean eating from each other's pockets or being on top of each other. You can simply learn to relate without, if coming too close causes a problem, learn to relate from a distance and let it go. Don't say you have no anger. Some people say that, but meanwhile, everything they're spewing is with undertone bitterness, hatred. You know something is there. Please, let's forgive and be forgiven. Okay? And on this note, I want to thank you again for stopping by. And please click and check out my next video where I want to talk about giving us the tools that can help us, in forgiving one another and living a more fruitful and joyous life. Thank you again for stopping by. My name is Sanjay Blunt and this is my channel. And please subscribe if you have not, and hit the like button. Share this with your friends and family, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Thank you again, and do check out the rest of my videos. Bye-bye. Cut.